Hello, welcome to Fahrenheit Performance Podcast, episode number 47. Today we have a runner, Shaun Goh.
Yeah.
You are the Singapore national record holder in the 10K road race, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Marja, thanks for having me here.
No problem, Shaun. Why don't you just give yourself a brief intro?
Yeah, my name is Shaun Goh. I'm 27 this year, and I do long distance running. And I do mostly in the 5K, 10K, and half marathon distances.
Yep.
Sometimes I dabble into the middle distances like 1,005 and the 2.4 in like the Pocari set runs. But yeah, mostly the 5 to 21K.
So just before we started recording, you were telling me about the difference in middle distance and long distance. So you're long distance, right?
I'm long distance.
So that's 5, 10, half marathon,
42, yeah.
42. And if you were saying you're a middle distance runner, it would be
Like
1,500.
1,500, 800. Yeah. Then there's a cutoff to 400 is like sprints and
Yeah.
down to 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, you're the fastest Singaporean that's ever run 10K, right?
Yeah, it's
By records, right?
yeah, you can see it.
So if we stop taking records today, you'll be the fastest to ever run, right? How did you start running and how, like, it sounds like to me if you're this good, you must have been doing it since you were a baby, right?
I think I've been involved in sports since young. Like from primary school, I've been playing basketball all the way up to junior college. So I had some like sporting background. I wasn't like off the couch coming to running.
Mm-hmm.
So I already started running when I was in national service.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're quite late to the game, right? So then all these kids that haven't never run before, they say you're the national record holder. You only start during NS.
Yeah.
It's something to aspire to.
So yeah, I was doing basketball. And basketball is a very aerobic sport.
Yep.
A lot of running up and down. I had a coach when I was in secondary school that made us do like 5 kilometre runs before every training.
Oh,
he arrived. So
Oh, that's good. That's really good, because at the end of a basketball game, when you're super gassed and tired, you need to have a little something left to be able to play, right?
yeah. We had to finish those runs before he arrived. So it was pretty like stressful time. I took the runs pretty seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really did help in my development early on. So
Did you find that, like, looking back on those times that you were running, do you remember how fast you were running the 5K?
I was just trying to
20 minutes or
just trying to guide those runs, because I was like I had training after that.
yeah.
I haven't even started training yet, so I was just trying to like make sure like if I get through them and I still have energy to do the training.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stack those weeks and weeks upon weeks, you actually build a pretty solid base.
Yeah, you're building you didn't know it, but you were building a base to where you are now, right?
Yeah, at the time I wasn't even thinking about joining long distance running at all. I thought it was the most boring thing in the world. Yeah, it's not as dynamic as like basketball.
Yeah. Well, basketball is all highlights and scoring and 3-pointers and stuff.
Yeah.
But running is just like for telling a basketball player to run is like, it seems, I'm sure it seemed really boring to you.
Yeah, and I would never. If you told me back then like I'll be doing this now, I wouldn't believe you.
Did you have aspirations to be like a pro basketball player or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah, in primary school, I watched a lot of like NBA. I played NBA Live this game.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had the hoop dreams,
Yep.
So played. I thought I was pretty good at the time, but then when I went to secondary school, the hoops got higher. The kids got taller, and I was still the same height. Then I realized I
So
started.
you could be a good point guard.
But yeah, and after years of denial, I was like, it's not gonna work out. But we just play fun now. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And it's one of those great games where you can just hang out and play for fun.
Yeah.
It's like soccer. People play like futsal and stuff for fun as well.
Right, the team aspect is awesome.
So then, when did you realize that you're actually I'm pretty good at running?
I think from even my school days, my running was a bit above average in the along like even my classmates. My first 2.4 in secondary 1, I ran like a 10:05. I still remember like the first time I did it. I finished 5th in my class.
Okay.
And like I think I did enjoy the competitive part. Like the first few guys were racing it, and at the time I don't know what 10:05 mean. And I think next few years I did those times did drop. Like I went down to like low 8 minutes when I was in secondary 4.
Okay.
And I think that was all just based on the basketball training.
Yeah.
And there was no focus on like running performance.
Yep.
But it was just all part of the process. Yeah. So, but I didn't think too much about it. I was just once a year, I did 2.4, then, next,
That's like me. I'm a swimmer.
Yeah.
And all during my school years, I'm competitive swimming, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then once or twice a year would have a the school cross country championships, and I would do well. I'll do well in it every year because I had the aerobic base of swimming, right?
Yeah.
And, but I never thought that I'd be a runner as well. But okay, so then during NS, I guess NS for you probably 10 years ago, no, 7 years ago.
7, 8 years, yeah.
Yep.
About there.
So you started. We were training during was it one of remember Keen's the previous guest. He's now NS, and he just runs around the camp because he has nothing to do and stuff.
Yeah. So actually my national service, it was a very interesting experience. I was from the naval diving unit.
Okay.
So actually, if you ask anybody, it's like our training is a bit like a biathlete stream.
Is it?
Like we do a lot of running and swimming.
Okay.
And if you are good at any of them, you really have a big advantage.
Okay.
We did a lot of running, like 6K time runs or like sea swims and activities or like hybrid obstacle courses with running and swimming.
Okay.
So if you're a guy like, I think Cedric is from NDU, you dominate like through the course. Yeah. So I was a pretty decent runner back then.
Yep.
And I excel in those activities in the national service.
Okay.
So there was a bit of a culture there with even the regulars who, some of them were good biathletes. I think, one guy, John Ma.
Yeah.
I just saw him like a few days ago at the pool.
He's still a swimmer.
Yeah, he's still a good swimmer.
He still works in the Navy, I think, right?
Yeah, he's still there. So there's you get to interact with them. We had annual biathletes among the whole unit. There's this culture of running and swimming ingrained in NDU. So
okay. So and it becomes quite competitive, I'm sure.
Yeah, there are guys that are school swimmers. They will dominate the swim. There are guys like me who did the runs. Then there are some guys who do both. Then there'll be the triathletes. You see now.
Yeah. And then what was your first competition? Like, was it, were you still in NS when you did your first, I guess 5,000 or 10,000?
I did those SAFSA track races for the Navy. So guys like John Ma, we joined. There was like 3,000 meter, 5,000 meter track races. I still even know why I ran those times. They asked me to run. I just run.
But you did okay?
Yeah, I think I did decently. If I can't remember, it means it was a mare performance. Yeah, I just did it because it was go get out of camp, and out of camp at the time. So yeah.
And then so when was, let's call a breakout performance? When was what was the best race that you did that you realized maybe I can make the national team, or maybe I can make a SEA Games or something? Was there any race in particular that was just...
So I never really had the aspiration to go for to be a national athlete and SEA Games. I thought those trips were a bit too big for me. I was just focusing on getting my PB, getting a PB every year, getting the never really thinking about representing Singapore. But until maybe 2022, end of 2022, early 2023, I did some races where my PBs happened to be in the range of the qualifiers for the year. So I think one of the races was the 5 kilometers. First time I broke 16 minutes for the 5K, and it was within the qualifying mark for the 5,000 meters. And then the 10,000 meters or so was another one where I had a few series of races back then where I was trying to hit the mark. I was trying to hit the 2% of the bronze medal mark, which is the qualifying mark of the SEA Games. And I managed to hit one of them, the 10,000 meter mark, by 2% in the last race to qualify. So in that, I managed to qualify through the 10,000 meters.
And does that mean that you can also race the 5,000 meters because you're on the team?
So there were 2 guys that were better than me in the 5,000 meter. They had better sea timing, so they were sent to represent. So there are 3 guys that hit, then they sent the top 2 to go. Yeah.
Okay, and then each nation can only race
2 guys. Yeah. But during that 2022 year, it was when I had some races where I did better than I ever thought I could. It was probably the first one was one of the Kari races. It was the sub-7 challenge that we saw young. And
that was that was quite recently, right? And you did sub-7?
Yeah, it was the first time I did it, and I went in. I think that was one of the better executed races I've ever done. Given my relative fitness, because I didn't think I was in the shape to run sub-7 at the time. But I think it was just the perfect day. Everything was flowing that day, and I finished the race on the floor. It was just the perfect utilization of energy.
How much? What was the time? Was it 6:59 or
6:56?
Okay, nice.
I lost track of time in the race.
You did well.
You just chasing the guy, and then got there.
Because that was the one where the Gurkha was there, right?
No, it was the 3rd edition. So it was Soryong, then Jivanesh, then it was me. So,
okay.
Actually, there was 2 Gurkhas there. But I think the Gurkha maybe mentioning is the Subhas Gurung. It was in the previous edition.
Okay.
He didn't race that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out if you're incredibly humble and you're just saying my PBs were good enough for the SEA Games, or you what it is, but it's quite amazing because you seem like you're an everyday runner who just kept on getting better and better and better and better, right?
Yeah. Because I wasn't involved in the running school scene, so
Yeah.
I started pretty late, as we simply talk about. So
Yeah.
I didn't really think about just representing. I just thought about, I enjoyed the process of training.
Yeah.
I had a good group of guys to run with, and I just wanted to see where I can go with running. I always found like it's such an interesting sport because like it's really like as close as you get to like, and you put an input in and you see the output of your result, and it's almost, it's very clear. It's not like other sports where, you know, basketball you train harder, but it's hard to measure the input of how good you can become. But running is like, it's very binary, and you see the result, right?
And it's also a sport where it's almost like a pure human sport. Let's say basketball, let's say archery, all these things. There's a piece of equipment involved, and then there's a different skills with the equipment. But running, you could be in a loincloth and just going at it, right? And
as raw as it gets.
Yeah, it's as raw as it gets. It's just as fast as the human body can take you over the distance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is.
So then, all this time, your training load, I guess, is steadily increasing.
Yeah.
Right. I guess in 2017, we first started running, you maybe do 5K a week or 10Ks every 2 weeks or whatever. Right?
Yeah. At the start, anyone, you just do like the 5K, 10K runs, or just 2 to 3 runs a week. Yeah. Slowly build. I consume a lot of the endurance YouTube channels like Sage Kennedy or Ryan Train at the time. Run. They say run more, you get better. You know?
Yeah.
Just run slow, you know, run easy runs. Yeah. And that's what I did. You know, I slowly built. I think I worked my way up to like 60, 70K
per week
when I was up to the NS period.
So when you're first starting out, you were just like doing a couple of long runs the weekend and short runs during the week. And
5 to 8K a week, you know, just make sure. I was using a heart rate strap at the time. I was trying to do the methadone thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar. No, not like the methadone test. Keep your heart rate within a certain amount. Like, I can't remember the exact size right now, but
So you're suppressing your heart rate, like you're only running to a max heart rate.
Yeah.
And then
you just keep it there so that, I mean, you don't want to, I think there's a diminishing reward once you go past a certain heart rate for easy runs, because you don't get really much benefit. You just get more damage from your body at a certain level.
And if you can go faster on the lower heart rate, then you can go faster on a faster heart rate.
Eventually, you just, at the same heart rate, you go faster.
Yeah.
I was doing that for quite a few years at the time.
Okay. And then now I'm assuming you're running probably every day, right?
Yeah. Now it's really at the peak of mileage and intensity. I do 7 days of running a week, 2 to 3 days a week. I try to put in 2 runs.
Okay.
So
I'm assuming you run today.
Yeah, I ran twice today. Yeah,
I just do. Well, it's like 9 o'clock at night, and so you run 2 runs already today, right?
I did one at 6 a.m. this morning. I woke up for a 30-minute treadmill run.
Okay.
And about 2 hours ago, I did about 45 minutes on the by PCM.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how much are you running every week now?
So an average training week is about 120K on the low end and 140K on the high end.
Okay.
About 10 hours if you on average.
Yep.
What it looks like is 2 days of hard training, 1 long run on the weekend, and then the rest of the days.
And how long is a long run?
It depends. 18 to 24K.
Okay.
18K to 24K. I don't really go much higher than that. I'm not a marathoner, so I don't.
Okay. So at the end of 140 kilometers of a week, right?
Yeah.
Are you just like, I just want to sleep? Like, can you feel it when you've run that much in a week?
I think at the end of the Saturday, that's where.
How do you measure? Is it from Saturday to Saturday or Monday to Monday to Sunday?
It's usually Monday to Sunday. So the Monday is the start of the week.
Yeah.
So like Monday is my hard session. Tuesday, Wednesday is the easy session. Yeah. Thursday the hard session. Friday is the easy one. Saturday is the long run. So by the long run, at the last evening is when you feel the full peak of the load.
Yeah.
But then like Sunday is like a easy run. So that's where you can't recover.
Yeah.
And Monday you reset again.
Okay. So Sunday night, after 100, you've got 140 kilometers.
Sunday is usually like 2 easy 30-minute runs.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's better than doing one hour run.
Okay.
It feels like easier to recover from that.
And then you know that Monday's your hard run again, right?
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it.
How do you mentally, I can't mentally do that, I don't think.
You just focus on the next day. You don't think about the whole load. You don't think about where you're at the week. You do what's next on the calendar.
You just think about tomorrow I'm going to do this 10K or whatever. And then you focus on that run and then...
And it's not overnight. I've been doing this for years already. So I think I only started doing really high mileage, like above 110, like start of last year. Inspired by some friends, I started doing it too. So before that, I was at like 90 to 100 when I was in a bit after the NS days and start of the uni days, 90 to 100k for like a good 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So I was quite acclimatized to that already.
But 90 to 100 is already quite a heavy load,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it is a decent amount.
Yeah.
But you know, it took 2 to 3 years of build. No, and it can't get to like 120 now, like overnight.
Yeah,
Like, oh shit, yeah, it's just asking for injuries.
But then did you feel like when you made that step from 100 to 120, your times actually dropped?
Yeah, definitely. I think for long distance runners, obviously there is a diminishing returns of how much you run. Like you will run like 200k plus, your body might not be able to absorb it. But I think at some point, most of us are underdeveloped aerobically. So like, if we're not running enough, So 120, 140 is actually, it's not say like a crazy amount if you think about it. Like the whole scene is.
Well, it's 100 hours, it's 10 hours a week, right?
Yeah.
And that's, in reality, that's not out of the number of hours you have a week, that's not a lot.
I've seen the triathlete guys, like, man, these guys are doing 15, 20 hours a week of training. This is nothing to... Luke is doing like 30 or something, right? I can't even put my hand around that. Yeah, 10 hours is like, I can fit that in a full-time working schedule,
So that's my next question is, this is not you're not a professional runner, right? You have a job.
Yeah,
right.
I got a full-time job.
Yep.
I work in cybersecurity.
Okay.
Yeah. So
does that mean you're sitting down a lot? So is that like rest time?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Actually, I think it's quite. It works hand in hand. Yeah. I get the rest to sit down most of the day. And then I'm looking forward to the runs after work. You stare at a screen for 8 or 9 hours a day.
It's very much the cybersecurity. Yeah. I'm thinking you're behind the screen. You're on a computer looking at the screen.
Yeah, that's right. It is what it looks like.
It is what it looks like.
Yeah. Then you just like the last few hours, you just can't wait to see sunlight and get out there.
Is it one of those jobs where you're always on call, or is it like at 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then when you're not there,
it's pretty stable. Yeah, it's not on call. Yeah.
Okay. So you're not thinking about your job when you're out running because
no. Yeah.
So you can switch off and just.
I know. I think I'm in a very fortunate position. I have a pretty good stable job. My boss is really understanding of what's going on. If I to be real if I'm working at a job that is like overtime every day, it's impossible to do what I'm doing now.
Or if you're let's just say you're a stockbroker who's got London market, New York market, and everything's going on, something always in flux, and then you can't focus, right?
Yeah, like being in a job where it's very fixed hours is very conducive for long distance training. Like consistency is the key for the style of training we do. If you have hours that are always shifting, your body just cannot get in a rhythm.
Yeah,
it's hard to fit. Even if you work your fit pieces here and there, but I don't think you get the proper recovery, and your body cannot really adapt properly.
Are you at the stage where you really focus on recovery and you really focus on nutrition and you really focus on do you do strength training as well?
So there's 3 things like recovery, nutrition, and strength training. Yeah. So recovery, the last few months I've started to take focus on it. I realized at the start of the year when I started to up the intensity of my training and I didn't get enough sleep, I get sick really easy. And especially towards competition.
A lot of endurance athletes, they because they push themselves so hard, their immune system gets quite suppressed.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you get sick. When you get sick, you get really sick. Right?
Yeah. So sleep is you gotta get sleep more You cannot if lack of sleep is make it even worse.
Yeah.
Then I try to focus a bit more on that. Get at least 6 hours. Try my best.
Yeah.
Some days you miss that, but.
And then recovery wise, do you have ice baths? Do you have recovery boots? Do you put sleeves on, or do you have an altitude tent at home?
No, very minimalist. I mean, some people say I do too little. I think I barely even foam roll. I do. I've got a massage gun at home.
Okay,
that's basically more my recovery.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm still doing fine. I just massage my calves, massage my thighs. I do it every day after every run.
Okay.
The massage gun.
Yep.
Foam rolling, I think I should do a bit more.
Yeah, everyone should do more foam rolling, I think.
I don't like massages. I just don't like it personally.
Yeah.
And strength training wise, I do a little bit after every hard session. So I keep my hard days hard, my easy days easy.
Okay.
So push-ups, sit-up, planks, glute bridges.
Everything that you can do without going to the gym.
Yeah, just at the track after we finish the session. Yeah.
Okay. So you go full gas, you do your hard session, and then you do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Back to your basketball sort of coach sort of mentality, right?
Yeah, it's the same lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean the strength training is pretty light lah. Yeah. It's just make sure I got a routine that I'm always doing.
Yeah, mobility is key as well, right?
Yeah, all the single leg squats, all the good stuff lah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then nutrition wise, I didn't focus on it until up to last year. Before that, I was just eating one by one.
Yeah.
I didn't know what calories.
Well, there's a school of thought, right? You're burning so many calories, so it doesn't matter what junk you put in.
I believe that all the way after last year. I didn't know what calories were. I didn't know macros. I didn't know like all the
Carbs.
all this good stuff. Yeah. Then I went to the SEA Games last year.
Yep.
And I saw all the other athletes and at the levels of fitness that they were at. I talked to some of them and how much they focus on nutrition.
Yeah.
Then when I went there, I was like, I'm basically like the fattest guy there. I'm like the heaviest guy. I see everybody there is like
Dead skinny.
Dead skinny. Yeah. And it did have an impact on me,
Yeah, because runners, like the stereotypical runner is like, it's like 50 kilograms and just like, because of lightness it will help you, right?
You just imagine the Kenyan runner, right?
Yeah.
The Kenyan guy just blazing it. Yeah.
But then you're not super skinny, right? I'd say you're normal size for a runner. Do you find that helps you or hinders you? Like, do you have any advantage over those like the dead skinny people? Do they get injured more, for example?
I like to think I got more protein,
more
stronger bones.
So then your kick, like, let's just say you're at the end of a race, would you have a better kick than the other runners?
Nah, I don't have a great kick, honestly, to be honest. I think my strengths are like having strength running, more like running hard for long distances. But strength speed wise, I think some of the skinny guys, they got a good engine. I mean, they got a good leg turnover. Yeah, that's something I'm still working on. High cadence. Yeah, I'm still focusing on that.
Okay.
I mean, you're right to a certain extent that it's not all about being skinny.
Yeah. Well, some of the best triathletes in the world right now are not skinny at all. Like Magnus deadlift, Christian Blumenfeld, for example.
Christian.
He's like lungs with legs, they call him, right?
Yeah.
He's a
that's like Irish spirit animal, right? Yeah, we always say these guys can run. Irish is a really fast runner. It was for his size, like he's kicking ass in Singapore, the distance scene. So yeah, I think he's probably one of the best runners that we have in the triathlon scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and because the stereotypes of the past where the endurance athletes have to be like super skinny isn't actually not so much anymore. Maybe at the marathon, but not so much at the sort of triathlete and sort of this sort of distances.
Yeah. There's a range, but I think it does still scale in the highest level. It does lean towards that direction.
Yeah. Cycling as well. Cycling, you can be a strong cyclist, but when he gets to the mountains, it's a skinny guy.
It's the weight to power ratio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So tell me, you broke the national record for the 10 kilometer, right?
Yeah.
So 10 kilometer road race is different from the 10,000 meters, right?
So the different events.
10,000 meters is on the track.
10,000 meters on the track, yeah.
And then 10K road race is like the fun run sort of on the roads.
It's gonna be any race that is certified by World Athletics, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It gotta be measured. It can't be just any race that 9.6K. Call it a record.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you broke it this year in Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
I heard that the record now is 31 minutes, but you actually ran 30 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah. So 31.
Wouldn't you love to get that 2 seconds back?
31 minutes is my gun time, which is the time clock starts. No matter
what happens, they shoot the gun, for example, and then that's the time starts.
Yeah.
And then the time where you cross the finish line is when time finishes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I guess it took you 2 seconds to cross the start line.
Yeah. That's my net time.
Yeah.
So on Strava, it still says 30:58 or 30:59. So I'll take that. But I think for national record keeping purposes, they take the gun time.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then so tell us about that race. Was it just like the perfect day for you, or what?
Oh yeah, it was as perfect as it gets in terms of lead up, execution, and everything. Yeah, because I went up there because my sister was also planning to run that race.
Okay.
My sister not really a runner, but she's relatively fit lah. So she decided to do this 10K, and
is she living in Singapore? Or she's living in Melbourne.
She's in Melbourne.
Oh, okay. So you were like going down to visit her and the same race.
She's like, "You doing this race?" Oh yeah, sure. Then I saw it was certified race, so like, let's go. I gotta go try and get the race. Then I saw the course was really good. It's 2 loops around this park in Melbourne. It's called Albert Park,
which is where the F1 is.
Yeah, exactly. So flat, all the way in that kind of surface where it's really good energy return. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, it's like if you run on like those concrete hard surfaces, it's pretty tough. But if you run on like a tar road, actually it's pretty nice to get the push off lah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Okay.
When there, everything was right. I was fit, healthy.
So your training leading up to it's good.
It was good peaking. I went up there, good flight. I stayed at my sister's place for the weekend.
Yep.
It was really,
Which is also nice. It's always nice to be somewhere where it's comfortable and you got friendly faces and stuff.
it was just
right?
good mood and everything.
Yeah.
Like I had a dog and a cat at the house. You know, it was just everything was good, positive vibes. And then leading into the race, and
Were you trying to break the record at that race, or were you just trying to go for a strong race?
Inside, I was definitely going for the record. I mean, for context, I was actually going for the record earlier in the year, in June, July, at the period at the Gold Coast 10 km.
Okay, and how close did you get?
So I was about I ran 31:55, I think.
So a minute
31
lower.
31:52. Sorry, 31:52. So the record was 31:39.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was about 10 seconds.
So then when you did break the record, you broke it by a mile. Like you broke it by quite a lot, by like 100, 200 meters.
Yeah, it was a big jump from that previous run. But that run, I was really going for it. Like, that was more focused on tension. Yeah.
So just talk me through it. 10K is 31 minutes, right? In every one of those 31 minutes, were you pushing hard? Or was it one of those ones where you negative split and you were just like, you felt like it was just a great race because you're following someone's heels?
Like 10 km is a long race, like. I mean, for anybody, even for me. So you gotta break it up into sections and you manageably dissipate the energy. You know, first 3K you gotta get in that. You gotta feel like it's fast, but it's comfortable.
Yep.
And you can really end your race early if you go too fast.
Yeah, of course.
Then 4 to 6 is where it gets tough, and then that's where you're like pushing just to maintain.
Okay.
Then once you get to 7, that's usually where I feel like you decide what kind of day you're gonna have. If you have a bad day, then you just have to grind out the last 3K. But if you have a good day, you pick it up and you push, you close hard, you know. And that was the kind of day I was having.
Yep.
It was 2 loops around the track. So it was easy to break up. The first 5K I ran at a pace that I was targeting, and I hit it pretty dead on. And then at the 5K mark, I was feeling alive, you know. I was surviving. I was in a good place.
So this was a race in Australia, right?
Yeah.
So the level was pretty high.
Yeah.
Were you in a pack of people, or were you like off the front or off the back? Or
I finished in 18th position
out of
about, I think, less than 100 people. Because it was 2 categories. It was the competitive category and the open category. So my category had about like less than 100 people.
Okay, which is you've considered elites, right?
Yeah, so category. The first guy finished about 28 flat. So that's how far 28 flat. And I was running in a pack that was pacing the women's Australian national record holder.
Okay.
Izzy Black-Doyle.
Nice.
She ran about 31:15. She broke the record the same race as me. So she was a little bit behind me. But I mean, she's a woman. So her record is amazingly.
Yeah.
I was running in that pack for like a few Ks, and I broke off about maybe halfway through.
Okay.
So on that second loop, I was feeling strong. So that's where I caught some of the runners who went a bit too fast on that first loop. And that's always a good momentum booster. People slowing down there, you got something to chase.
And you're still feeling good.
I was feeling good.
When you crossed the line, were you on your hands and knees, like ready to puke, or were you like, let's go?
I was not dead. Yeah. I don't want to ever be the kind of like say like I could have done. I was feeling good. Like it was tough. It's always tough, but I was feeling good. I was feeling a lot of adrenaline after crossing the line. Yeah. The last few hundred meters, I saw the clock. I was like, it was ticking over 30, 40, 41, 42.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to get 31, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I was like realizing I'm still got certain distance to get. I don't want to miss this 31 minutes, you know? And I sprinted.
I don't want to be the guy that tripped over at the end.
I sprinted really hard, and then I saw it clicking over the 30, 59 and 31 flat. And I was like, oh, I think I got it.
Nice.
I checked afterwards. I got 31 flat on the dot.
And was it immediate that people found out that you'd broken the national record? It was like,
Singapore Athletics picked it up. They were aware that I went for it, because how it works is that when you go for these attempts overseas, you gotta email Singapore Athletics that you're gonna run this race, and they gotta check that it's sanctioned. So basically, what sanction means is that they will go and check whether the race is accurate, measured, and then they will reply back and saying, okay, you know, like it's cleared. So then after that, they're kind of aware that you're already going for it.
Okay.
Don't do this email thing, like, and you run a record, they won't recognize it as a record.
Even if post race, it's sanctioned and everything.
No, you can't. You gotta declare, you gotta this thing I think some of the athletes gotta know, like,
Yeah.
if you're hearing this, if you're going for a record of time overseas, like a road race, let them know you're ask for a sanction.
Even if you're not going for the record, just let them know that you're in this race anyway, right?
yeah, then it's a really important step. If you're going for a national race.
So when was that race? A few months ago now?
It's maybe about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Since then I did already 2 races after that.
Yeah, so I was following you on the Garmin run because I had a whole bunch of friends in the Garmin run.
Coming on, yeah.
And you did it in 31 like 57 or 31:30 or something, right? Quite.
Yeah, 31:48. Yeah, around there.
And that's in heat, in humidity. Was that a harder run? Was that a better run? Do you feel, even though you didn't break the record, because it's so much tougher?
Relatively, I think I executed a better race.
Yeah. So if you'd run the Garmin run in Melbourne, do you think it would have been a better time? It's hard to say, but
I never want to say that because it's like, if you could have done it, you should have done it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just performance-wise, I'll give that more points. But obviously, you have to do it on the day itself.
Of course.
I pushed myself, I got more out of myself doing the Garmin run. Maybe it was just competition, like the way it was run, and it's just different. You wake up that day, you got more energy.
You're sleeping in your own bed as well.
yeah. And I think I just was able to get more energy that day and push harder.
And did you win? Did you win it?
Yeah, I won it. Yeah.
Okay. So then, you said that you're at SEA Games 2023.
SEA Games 2023. Yeah.
How did that go? Did you? You said that you looked at the start line. You're a bit outgunned, but did the race go again?
I did 10,000 meters, and I had a really bad day. Yeah. I ran like 37 minutes. 30 minutes.
Wow!
I almost lost to I always joke Vanessa. Vanessa Lee, the runner.
Okay.
She's a 10,000 meter runner.
Yeah.
So she said she always jokes on me that she almost beat me that day because she ran like just sub 38.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just having I was sick the entire week before.
Yeah.
And I just
had a bad day.
I 2 weeks before I just couldn't get any training done. Then when the race started, I was just trying to finish the race.
And by that time you were already running quite low 30s, right?
My PB at the time was about 33 low. Yeah. So I mean, even if I ran that best race, I'll probably finish the last few. But I just was hoping that.
So you had a bad race at a bad.
Yeah. You're already like lowest on the seeding, plus having a bad day. It just adds to it. And in Cambodia, it was peak heat. And it was like 35 degrees. Oh. And somehow, Mr. Soryong broke the national record on the race. In the heat, he ran like 31:10 on the heat.
So the funny thing is that even though you ran the distance in less time on the road, it doesn't stand for the 10,000 meters.
Rest is different. 10,000 meters and 10 km is two different things. So like if I were to want to qualify for the 2025 SEA Games, I got to do it on the track. Yeah. It's two completely separate.
And obviously that's the goal for you, right? Is to qualify for 10,000 meters and 5,000 meters at the SEA Games as well, or just 10,000?
I won't be like picky, and if I can get any, I'll get. I'll take what I can get. We see how next year goes. If I execute my races well, I hope to qualify for both. Yeah.
And then the funny thing about SEA Games in Singapore is that you need to beat the bronze medal time
the previous
SEA Games.
Yeah.
Right. And is your 10,000 meter time beating the bronze medal time of the previous SEA Games?
So the road time is faster. My track time is still 32 plus. I haven't done one since January this year.
Okay.
I believe I'm a little bit faster than that right now. So if I can execute one good one, I think the 10,000 meter, I can see it. The mark is 31:25 if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for the 5 kilometer, it's a bit harder. It's 14:43.
Oof.
And for context, our national record is 14:44.
So basically, to qualify for SEA Games 5,000 meters, you need to break the Singapore national record.
Yeah.
It's by at least a second.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Something to strive for. Yeah, definitely. And then for all intents and purposes, if you run 31 minutes at the SEA Games, you'd probably get a medal, right?
If I ran that 31 and that year, like 2023, I would have got a medal. Yeah. I mean, that's a very big hypothetical.
Yeah. Of course it is. But is that the goal for the next SEA Games? It's not just participation awarded anymore. It's actually.
I don't want to go there and just be like the participation. I had that year already, like 2023. So I want to be on that level where I'm there in the last lap. To contend for medals.
Yep,
that'll be the goal.
And who's the biggest competition in the region?
The couple of guys from Indonesia, Philippines, there's a guy from Philippines, Sonny Wagdos. There's a guy from Thailand, Kiran Tontuvat. Those guys got really good last laps.
And you raced them before?
I'm in the race with them.
But
they just different race. Yeah, we had the same race but different one. So I just want to be on that level where I get the respect from them, you know, at least like
Oh yeah, you were there at the end, right?
on that last lap with them, and you know, if in a good day we can really get a medal. You know,
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Definitely. So I guess what I'm still trying to work out is you started running 2017. It's 2024 now. You're a great runner, right? What do you say? What was it in those 7 years that's made you the great runner? Was it consistency, or was it load? Was it nutrition and recovery, or what do you think the biggest factor was?
Just consistency in training. So for context, in year 2 of my university, that's when about COVID hit, and I had this really bad injury for like 6 months, 7 months. Then after that, when I recovered, that was about my start of my year 3 of university. So that's about 5 years back.
So how long was 7 months? You said
about 6-7 months. It was a really bad ankle sprain.
so. When you first ran after you cleared the run,
If you go back to that Strava period, you will just see a lot of 4 km runs at Bedok Reservoir.
yeah,
I was just trying to get through those runs.
Yeah.
It was a really tough period, like just to get back without pain.
yep,
Those few months were really tough building back. But after that, I was self-coaching from that point on. That's about 4 years up to now, but this year I got a coach really.
okay.
So like 4 years, I managed to have really good consistent training.
So when you say consistent training, are you just running on the treadmill at home, or you are running on the track, or
doing very similar to what I'm doing now. 2 hard workouts, 1 easy long run. This is, lower mileage relatively, but I think the main thing that I was really focused on was just doing B workouts, B plus level workouts.
And are you doing this with a group of mates or something?
Yeah, I gotta give credit to this group of alumni from the US. They are always with me.
Yeah.
I'm in a really perfect training setup because like when you're in a training group, usually you have to adjust to people and stuff.
Yeah.
I was in a group where like I was self-coached, so I created the workouts. And then these guys, they hopped on with me.
Okay.
Because they were like focused on just being fit.
Are they as good? Were they as good at runners?
They used to be part of the team.
Yeah.
And now they're just training for like general fitness. So they don't mind like just doing whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I got company plus I don't need to really change my workout.
Yeah.
So this 3-4 years, I've had this really perfect
And
setup.
it's good when you have a bunch of people that you don't want to let them down, because you know that they're waiting for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you never skip a workout because your friends are there waiting for you.
This is probably my biggest advantage I had in 4 years. These guys that are always my support system is really, really strong.
Yeah.
And one thing is that when I was focusing on playing my workouts, is that without a coach, I know that I didn't have anyone to fall back to if I had a bad workout.
Yeah.
So I made sure I planned workouts that I could always finish.
Yep.
They were like maybe B plus workouts all the time. Never trying to hit a home run in any workouts. Maybe once or twice a season only. And I think stacking many, many weeks of this with good luck and no injuries, I managed to it's really not rocket science. You just have 3-4 years, you really can build a lot. Even at my level now, I see guys at my age at that time running much, much faster than me. If they just focus 3 more years, they're gonna pass me really, really quickly. It's really
But it sounds easy. No, it doesn't sound easy, but it sounds theoretical, where as long as they do that, they will pass you, right?
Yeah.
But it's not easy to do that.
You gotta want it. You gotta want it.
You need to be motivated, and you need to put in. It's not going to come for granted. It's not. You don't just wait for 3 years and you're there. You need to put in those 120, 140 kilometers a week for 3 years.
The nature is obvious. It's very monotonous, and every day is not hard. You're just doing it every day. It's hard. It's the goals are.
Yeah.
You gotta enjoy the process. That's why. And when you reach the race, that's where you show off your hard work. Hopefully.
Is that how you feel at the start of every race? Is like,
yeah.
I'm ready. I've done the work.
I feel there's no stress when you actually have good training and you reach the race confident. It's not even that serious. It's just racing. We are very fortunate that we can do this.
Yeah.
And you just do your best that day, and it's not the end of the world.
Do you feel like you have a better race when there's a stronger field where you can feed off other people, or do you feel like we just execute your plan?
I think with a stronger field is always much better. You get more out of yourself. You get something to chase. You race more. I think when obviously you want to execute a perfect plan. Are you doing it alone though? It depends. If you can do that with competition, it works out better. I think that's how the Melbourne race went out. I had a pacing strategy, and it happened to have people there who are stronger than me
doing the same similar pacing strategy, right?
Yeah. So that's why it's a little bit tough to do in Singapore, because there's a lack of that. Plus the weather and everything. Yeah.
So what next for you? Are you forever going to stay the 5,000, 10,000 half marathon?
No, I mean, I'll definitely move up. Like, I want to do the marathon in the future. Yeah, not so soon maybe.
I hear that I'm a faster marathoner than you. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're talking about you've done a marathon before. I'm not yet a sub-4 marathoner, but you are, right? I've done 2 marathons. I've done 2 of them back to back in the army days.
Yeah.
Both were like 4:08 exactly.
So that was back when you were your beginning of your journey, right?
Yeah.
And you just never have done it since.
We just at the time thinking this will be the fittest part of our lives, so let's just do it now. You know,
Yep.
That's our mentality. And cramped both of them really, really bad. No preparation at all.
Nice. Okay. What's the qualifying process for the SEA Games? There's always a window, right? Is it like beginning of the year, or is it like?
It just opened like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so that until maybe 2-3 months before the SEA Games, which is December next year. Yeah, so it's
anytime if you
yeah,
do a great race,
it's begun already. Yeah, so now I have to plan out my races for 2025.
have you planned what you're gonna do already?
It's still in the works. There's a lot of potential here and there, but it's all gonna line up well.
Is this the sort of thing that you don't let everyone know until like a few years?
I'm not a private person. You know, I put everything out there on Strava, and maybe I don't publicize that I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask me, I'll tell you lah. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
But right now, nothing is concrete yet lah. So I mean, there's some races we're gonna do in Australia maybe, or Japan. We see how it goes, but nothing is confirmed yet.
Yep. And it has to be. There'll have to be some sort of track meet, right?
Yeah, for SEA Games track meet, unless you're doing marathon, they do marathons on the road lah. But and there's no hard marathons in SEA Games, so it's 10,000 or 5,000 for me at the moment. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, man. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
I was gonna. I normally ask what your how to get a hold of you, but I look at your Instagram. It's still basketball related.
Yeah.
It's not a long distance runner, 101 or anything. It's Lillard time, which is from Damon Lillard, right?
Yeah, little time.
Lillard time 0, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like very stubborn to change stuff. Like, even now my Garmin watch, I'm still using 235. You know.
Oh yeah.
I always say like I knew a new Garmin watch at the Garmin 10K.
Yeah.
I'm like, I still.
Oh, you want
I want a 265, and I still feel very lazy to change it. I still like the old stuff as long as it's working.
Yeah, mine is an Enduro, which is quite old now. Like the Enduro 3 came out. Yeah, it still works. It still looks great.
Yeah, I used to the workflow, everything, the buttons.
Yeah,
it's just lazy to change.
Okay, man. Thank you so much, Shaun.
Thanks for having me.
I normally say we go for a run, but you're too fast for me.
Anytime. Don't worry.